Thank you for joining me for this training. Today, we're going to go through how to create goals for your business or for you personally in 30-day periods of time. My name is Monique, and I'm the host of Intuitive Entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of solopreneurs on a daily basis. And in the context of that, I've seen the struggle that they move through with how to accomplish what it is that they want to accomplish in their business specifically. There are, as we're scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, there are so many marketing strategies and best practices that are thrown at us on a consistent basis that it can often feel like, where do I point my attention? What am I even supposed to be doing? And then if we do get clear about what we want to point ourselves towards or what we want to accomplish in a day or in a week or in a month or in a year, we see that shiny object and we often get distracted and taken off the path, that we've created for ourselves. So that challenge will always be there, that as a solopreneur, as a creative person, as an intuitive entrepreneur, shiny object syndrome is something that you're going to have to learn how to navigate and how to choose when to put your blinders on and when to go into that studying, learning, gathering technique space. And it all happens in moderation and cycles. There are plenty of times when I remove Instagram or Facebook or TikTok from my phone so that I can put blinders on and I can focus on what I've chosen to focus on, what's right in front of me and what I know is going to produce results in my business. Because it can be so easy not only to get distracted by new marketing concepts or best practice advice, but also that comparison factor where we're looking at what other people are doing that we feel like they're doing really well and how we may not be able to meet that mark or produce content or build a business in the same way. And so we have to know when to put the blinders on and when to focus on what is ours and what is not. So if you're here, you are at the very beginning of my intuitive entrepreneur's journey. I have been in a personal, emotional support person and coach and oracle card reader for more than 10 years. I think I'm going on 13 years now. And that has been the primary modality that I have put forward facing in the internet space as who I am and what I do. And in the background, what I do for my full-time job and what I have always done on a referral basis is in the digital marketing space. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a web designer. I manage online communities for multiple people. I do client management. And I do a lot of coaching with solopreneurs who are looking to build their business. So this attempt of intuitive entrepreneurs is me trying to merge those two worlds because there are plenty of us out there that are either looking to build a spiritual business, you're in the metaphysical space and you're looking to build a business around that, or you yourself are a spiritual person and you're building a business and you're trying to do that in a way that's in alignment and in integrity with who you naturally are as a person. Because I know a lot of us, if we're trying to build a business, we feel like we have to do it one way or how it's broadcasted on the internet and in other people's marketing. And it doesn't always feel congruent with who we are or how we want to show up in the world. So here I am. This is me starting a new venture, putting myself out there in this way. You can expect to receive a weekly training from me. And eventually I'm going to move into a membership program you can join that will have daily options for classes and support that not only support you and your growing business, but also support you and your personal goals. And I will bring oracle cards into it. We will bring energy clearing and meditation into it because you're a whole person. You are not just an entrepreneur. You are also an intuitive being. And it's important that both of those spaces are nurtured. So if you're watching this, I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions at all, you can find me on Facebook. You can also email me. I'll include that wherever you're watching this recording. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have, and I look forward to hosting more trainings for you in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I'm going to share my screen. My name is Monique. I'm the founder of Intuitive Entrepreneurs, and if you are not already a part of our Facebook group, I would like you to go ahead and join. Right now, I'm at 44 members. I just started this group this week. I sent it out to all of my friends list on Facebook and had some people join. So my main goal in this space, if you do decide to join, is that it will be a place where my weekly trainings are broadcasted. And then I'll also be sharing different tips, on a weekly basis about just how to hone in on your intuitive entrepreneur skills. We'll talk about graphic design, we'll talk about marketing, we'll talk about goal setting, we'll do some oracle readings. It will literally be a blend of all the skill set that I have in my tool belt, to help you just get better and closer to what it is that you want to achieve in your business or in those personal goals that you have set for yourself. You may have, if you're here and you don't consider yourself to be an entrepreneur, you just may have some things that you want to accomplish in your life. It's more of a goal, it's more of a dream, and that's okay, because all of the stuff that we have going on in the space can still very much apply to those things that you want to accomplish in your personal life. So don't get thrown off, if you don't feel like you fall under that scope of being an entrepreneur. Okay, so this is just my title slide. We're going to move forward and we're going to talk about goal setting. I'm going to work through actually like what my goals are in the next 30 days. And that's how I'm going to break down this training for you. So if you have goals in your mind and you need help breaking it down, at the very end of this training, there'll be an opportunity for you to hop on a call with me this week. And I have some dates and times listed available. So just know that if you like what we're going over here and you'd like more information, but you need, that personal guidance to walk through some things, there will be that opportunity at the end. So why is it important to set goals 30 days at a time? I am completely an advocate for, if you have a vision over a full year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, you can absolutely create your goals around that vision. However, most of the people that I encounter are not type A people. You're not someone who can say, this is what I want to accomplish, and I'm going to start here and have this straight line from A to B. There's zigzags, there's curves, there's drops and pickups, like you're a little all over the place. So I really like to break down the timeline into smaller increments. And that doesn't say that you don't have a bigger vision that you're moving towards over a longer period of time. It just means that what you're bringing your attention and focus to is more focused on 30-day increments. Because if you're like me and a lot of the other people that I talk to, then you know that if you set something 60, 90, 6 months in advance, you're going to fall off somewhere in the middle of that. You're not going to be able to stay consistent, and that is going to hinder your progress and it's going to hinder your growth. Okay. So if you're someone who gets overwhelmed, easily distracted, or stops and starts frequently, 30 days is a more realistic vantage point than 365 days. Okay. And I'm not shunning one way or the other. I'm just saying, if you struggled to create long-term goals and stick with it, it's likely that it's better for you and more effective for you to create shorter term goals. So one of the things that I like to do in my 30-day goal setting process is to work backwards from the outcome. Okay, so you want to make sure that your goal is very specific around what you want to accomplish. It's not some vague, like, I want to make more money or I want a growing and thriving business. It's nothing like that. It's on a much smaller scale and it's more realistic. So maybe you want to book 3 clients this month, whether that's you getting them on your calendar so that you can have conversations with them, or them saying yes to one of your service packages and they're actually paying you for the services that you provide. Maybe you want to sell 5 of your products. If you have a digital product, if you have a physical product, if you have classes that you teach in person or online, if you have even just services that you sell, maybe you're a web designer. Maybe you have a cleaning or organizing business and you want to sell 5 of those products or services in a month. So that would be your goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attached to a number. Maybe you want to just get your website complete. Maybe your goal isn't attached to sales, but you want a whole complete website so that you can take it out to the market, so that you have a place to send people, so they know who you are. what you're doing and what you have to offer. Maybe that's your goal for 30 days. Maybe you want 10 new leads on your mailing list. So if you're sending out a weekly newsletter, or maybe you have a PDF or a freebie, or maybe you're an affiliate for a marketing or a company that has a service or product that you are helping sell, and you want 10 new people to join your list, that could be your goal for the month. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of like how to attach specific actions to these goals that have measurable results a little bit later on. Maybe your goal for the next 30 days is to post on social media every day. That in and of itself, is a hearty goal. So I would just take a moment, if you're here watching this live on scratch paper, whatever you have near you, or on a Google Doc, and just think about what is your specific goal connected to your business, or connected to your dream, or connected to the personal achievement that you want to make happen in the next 30 days. What is the specific measurable result that you want to do? And there needs to be a number tied to it, like 3 clients, 10 leads, 5 products sold. Even the posting on every day means that you have a calendar of 31 days there, if we're talking about December, and you're accounting for every day that you go post. So you can pause this as you're watching it if you want to take a little bit of time, to brainstorm that. Okay, after you're clear on what the goal is that you want to accomplish and it's measurable, you want to decide what the supporting actions are that are going to help you get to that goal. And then you also want to take some time to think about what stops you, like when you've tried this before, or when you often create goals for yourself, what stands in your way from you being able to meet that goal? Okay, so I'm going to use my goal for December, because I'm just starting Intuitive Entrepreneurs. Really, my goal is how do I want to approach this? I did spend some time thinking about it before this training, but it's always a bit different in the moment when you're mapping it out. So my main goal is really to host 4 free trainings this month to grow my audience. Okay. And I have these scheduled. I put these in my calendar already. So really, like, the supporting actions are, the first one is to schedule the trainings. Let me take this size down. So first, I'm going to schedule the trainings. And this is in my Google Calendar, on Facebook, and to my mailing list. And then the other supporting actions are that I'm going to invite people to join through Facebook, through my mailing list. And I think I either need to do LinkedIn or Instagram. So I still need to decide how I want to tackle that. And I know this is not formatted pretty, but it's fine. It's fine. Let me bring my things down here. Okay, and then the third action that I want to take, so I'm scheduling the trainings, I'm inviting the people, and then I'm preparing the presentations for the trainings, because that also takes time. I spent about an hour this morning, preparing this presentation for today's call. Now, this is just a little bit of personal insight as to what I'm doing, but recording these trainings will also allow me to populate a library of trainings that will be ongoingly available to members. So it will serve a dual purpose down the road. But right now, this is what I'm doing to grow my audience, to build my business, and to get more people interested in what I'm doing. These trainings also give me an opportunity to show you the value that I provide to entrepreneurs and business owners. It displays the knowledge that I have and what your experience of what it would be like to work with me, or eventually move into that membership space whenever I have that opportunity available. So that will be my goal for January. And right now, my main focus, because again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I don't want to overwhelm myself. With all the things that there are to do. So in December, I'm just focusing on delivering these trainings in a way that I feel really good about, in a way that they are effective and productive for you, and to grow my audience and gain awareness so that people know what it is that I'm doing and what service I'm providing right now. Okay, so the things that often stop me are getting too far ahead of myself. I'm really great at like mapping out the whole plan. I have journals and journals and journals of plans and strategies and but I never get through all the way. I can start and then I stop. So my goal with intuitive entrepreneurs is to develop consistency, sustainability, and longevity over time. The other thing that stops me is doubting what's possible. Inside of this, I think some of it is like I share my goals, dreams too soon. That can even be like in conversations with friends and family. Because if you're sharing, like if you inside of you are feeling like this is possible, I know it's possible, I want this so badly, and then you're sharing it with people in your immediate life or even publicly, and you don't get the kind of enthusiasm and excitement mirrored back at you that you feel internally, in my experience, it can immediately diminish the enthusiasm that I have to create what I want to create. So it's becoming a bit of a practice to like keep these goals to myself. And I even had a moment of that yesterday where I shared and didn't get the positive response that I wanted back, and could even like in facial expressions feel the like, and it was just discouraging. And I had to like coach myself through that moment of being like, you kind of knew better not to say anything, but I'm just a sharing person, is why it came out in the moment. So that's part of it, is like not sharing and just doing the damn thing, putting myself out there. And then the other thing is like comparing myself to others. And I talked a little bit about this in the beginning when you're on social media and you see all the other content creators out there, you see all the other business owners out there, and they seem like they're just hitting it out of the park and doing so awesome and all of these things, and you don't feel like you're hitting those marks. It can be discouraging, but we have to remind ourselves that there's so much that we don't see going on behind the scenes for these people, that they have successes and they also have failures. They're just not creating reels about all of it. And you also don't know how long they've been going at something to get where they are. So the comparison thing is something that often stops me, and that's underneath doubting what's possible. So another thing that stops me is piling on too many action steps. If I don't keep what I'm doing simple, I get overwhelmed. And then if I get overwhelmed, I just stop altogether. So if maybe you were working through some of this with me, maybe some of what I shared is relevant to your goals, your business goals, or personal goals, feel free to copy anything that's here. And also just pause this recording and take a moment to kind of map out some of these things for yourself. Okay. So ultimately, back to the beginning, my goal for December is to host 4 free trainings this month to grow my audience for intuitive entrepreneurs. If you're watching this, This is my first one. So thanks for being here with me at the beginning of my journey. Okay, next we're gonna break down the goals into weekly steps. And remember that I want to keep this as simple as possible, because if I get overwhelmed, I get stopped. So I didn't create a space for what the goal was, but I'm going to do this here because I like to have it as a visual reference as I'm mapping this out. So my goal is to host 4 free trainings this month to grow my audience. So in week 1, and some of this I've already done, it is schedule the training. And let's make these much smaller. Oh, we'll do it a little bit bigger in case you can't see that. So I'm going to schedule the training. I'm going to send 2 emails to my list. And the other thing I'm going to do is prepare my presentation. Okay, so the other thing I would do along with, so I might have 4, and this is like borderline. I don't want to put too much on my plate, but the reality is I do need to create some social posts to let people know that the training is going on. So I'm gonna do bare minimum 2 social posts a week to promote the training. Okay, let me fit all this in the box. So I think that is clear enough for week 1. And I actually think that I'm going to repeat this for sure for week 2. Okay. Now, after week 2, because you want to give yourself enough time to test these actions to see if they're producing results. Okay. So if one of your goals, just going back to our first slide in the beginning of what we talked about, if one of your goals was to get 3 clients this month, and maybe you're hosting a training, maybe you're sending out emails to your list, maybe you're doing social posts, maybe it looks something similar to this. And by week 2, you've completed all of these tasks, but it's not producing the results that you want. Okay, so maybe I'm doing these things and my Facebook group isn't growing. Maybe nobody's watching the trainings. Maybe nobody has generated a conversation with me from these trainings. At week 2, I would look at, okay, what I'm doing is not effective. So how do I want to adjust this? So I think right here, in between week 2 and 3, we would do an assessment. And that's for all of us. That's not just for me. You need to assess whether or not the actions you are taking are producing the results that you want. Now, this does not mean that I'm going to not complete my trainings for the month. This does not mean that I'm going to stop the actions that I'm doing altogether. But what this might mean is that instead of it being these actions, maybe instead of the social posts for the week, or if I'm doing 2 social posts a week on like Facebook and it's not doing anything, then I would switch it to be 2 posts a week on Instagram, in posts and stories. So you don't have to, your assessment, if it's not producing results, you don't have to like clear off the slate, clear off the canvas, and change everything entirely. You want to make microscopic changes and in a small way so that you can see the difference that it makes. Because if you're starting over from scratch, you're not going to know what it was that was working and what wasn't working. You have to look at it a little bit as a science experiment, and you're changing small variables at a time so that you can test and track what is actually creating movement and what is not. Okay. So I'm going to go back to these goals and be more specific. And I'm going to say these will be to Facebook, because right now that's where I have the most audience, is on Facebook. But it's a test for me because I don't know if the people on Facebook are, my true audience, or, if they're just people who have followed me for a long time and love me and want to support me, but they're not necessarily the people that will be a part of growing my business. So the first 2 weeks, if this doesn't produce results from my assessment, then I will switch to Instagram to test that. And then I would give myself another 2 weeks of this same process. Now, if Instagram doesn't work, then I think I would switch my focus to LinkedIn. Okay. And another goal that I have that is not a part of this, and maybe this is another training of like the high level goals that you're mapping out for each month, because by January, I want to have my paid membership available. It's going to be $25 a month for this founding group of members. And there's going to be probably three classes a week available to you. One will be like an energy session where we're pulling cards and talking about your business or yourself, like whatever comes up for you. I will continue these free trainings that will be available publicly throughout each week. And then there'll be a third class that's more of a coaching Q&A where you can bring your business questions to me and ask, like whether it's graphic design and we pull up something that you're working on and we work on it together, whether you're trying to build something in your website, but you're not sure how to put it together. If you're trying to market a service, but you need a plan and you don't know how to create that, there'll be an opportunity in a class inside of that membership where you can bring it to the class and we'll work through it together. So that will be moving into 2025. But my focus just for December is to host these free trainings and just gain awareness, put myself out there, be like, hey, I'm doing this. I have the knowledge. I have the expertise. More importantly, I have the compassion for you as a human being who's a solopreneur building this business or moving closer to your dream or goal. And I'm here to support you. Okay. So it's very important, as you set your goals and as you set your actions, that you're also giving yourself time. So 2 to 3 weeks for you to test the actions to see if it's producing the results that you want. And then taking the assessment to see if it is, and if it's not, adjusting the actions that you have to see if the next pivot, is going to bring in those results, whether it's you getting leads, whether it's you booking clients, whether it's you selling products, or whether it's you inching closer to your goal. Oh, that was magic. So the other thing that's important, and honestly, like this is not what I would use to track metrics for something. I would build out a spreadsheet. But just for the purpose of this training, I wanted to stay inside of Canva. So the other important piece of goal setting is tracking your metrics. Okay. So just using my goal that I have where I want to host the 4 trainings a month. And even me just showing up, having the presentation, I sent out the emails, I made the social posts, like no one is in this room as I'm doing this training, so I did promote it and no one physically showed up, but I'm still here providing this training. So my goal is to do 4 trainings this month and share them for free. I'm accomplishing the first step of that. So my metrics that I would track for that is that how many attendees did I have in the training? Okay, so week 1, week 1, 0. Okay. The next metric that I would track is how many members joined my group. Week 1, 44. So that's a win. I had 44 people. I started at 0, join my Facebook group. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay that nobody's here today. As long as I'm still delivering this content, it will be recorded. It will be available. We are all good. And the third metric that I would like to track is, did I build my presentation? Week 1? Yes. Okay, so I have 2 wins for myself. You don't have to make this overcomplicated. You don't have to climb a giant mountain. These can be small incremental steps that you are taking, and they will accumulate over time. So there's a part of you that has to make peace with not having exponential results your first go at it and not allow that to discourage you. And you also have to find the wins where and when you get it. And for me, that is that my Facebook group has 44 people in it. Now, I don't know if Facebook is going to end up being the home for my business, but it's where I wanted to start. It's what I wanted to test. And it's what I felt I had access to, the largest audience out of all of my platforms. I do have a larger following on TikTok. I have about 900 friends on Facebook, but I've been actively cleaning out that list over the years. And on TikTok, I have about 2,000 followers, but I've only done oracle readings over there. So that's another place that I may test these kinds of conversations and offers, but I didn't want to do that today. I just wanted to keep it simple, create the training, show up, deliver it, be present, and get it done. And so here we are. Okay, so you definitely want to track, have your metrics, decide what it is that you're going to track that calculates, what you've accomplished as you're moving through the month. Now, if you liked this, but you feel like you have a little bit of trouble wrapping your brain around how to apply it to what you're creating, I do have some time available this Friday at 2 p.m. Central, and then Sunday at 1 and 2. So if you have those windows of time open and you'd like to meet for about 45 minutes, I would be more than happy to walk through this process with you and your goals. No charge at all, just to meet with you and make the connection and showcase my knowledge and expertise. And just have you be a part of the community. So let me know if any of these dates are available for you, if you're interested in that, and I would be more than happy to meet with you. And I just want to thank you for being a part of this training today, whether obviously no one is here watching it live, but if you're watching the recording, thank you for taking the time to do that. I hope that you found some piece of information or inspiration that helped you move closer to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And please feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have questions or need support or are curious about what I do. I would be more than happy to connect with you and support you in any way that I can. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you on future trainings. Talk to you later. Bye.